right back into it. Page 16. The past is just all of the current moments that have passed. The future is just a collection of all current moments that are yet to occur. As a result, life at any time other than the present is pointless, even if your ongoing work is directed toward the future. Assume you have a paper due in 2 weeks. You might limit the time you didn't spend working on it. But that's pointless. Neither is concerned about the large amount of work yet to come. The most effective method to complete the task is to concentrate on what you can accomplish right now. Calm down, sit back, identify the issue, create an outline, and begin preparing. Life is a succession of present moments, and the only one you can truly save it is right now. However, your present can get plagued by the choices or events that happen in your past. Pain and suffering greatly affect a person's life and belief system. These are the reasons for the development of limiting beliefs. Suffering and pain are the shackles that don't allow us to grow and live in the present moment. Past and future are the main sources of suffering in one's life. We keep on regretting the decisions that we made in the past. And we keep on worrying about making the decisions that will affect our future. Our suffering arises in this realm between regret and worry. We do not understand that we are the greatest source of our suffering. We are creating unnecessary pain for ourselves by remaining trapped in the future and the past without realizing the importance of the present. Our regret and worry prove that we cannot accept our present and enjoy it. Our mind is entangled in choices that have no existence at this point. Past. Our minds are created in such a way that they like to create pain. They do this to make you abandon the present because it unconsciously perceives that you are not the best version of yourself. It keeps you from accepting your true self by producing pain and feeding on the past. Because your mind cannot operate and maintain control without time, which includes both the past and the future. It resists the timeless now. Our mind feeds this resistance through our guilt. The guilt of things we have done in the past, the guilt of the decisions we make will seemingly make our future worse. You are more aware of the present than of the past. And it's possible that in the past, when you weren't aware, you did things you now recognize as wrong, or you caused misery to another person or beings, and you can see it now. You didn't realize what you were doing at the time because you weren't aware enough to behave differently. The fact that a person feels guilty now indicates that they can see something they could not see before. But now you realize you awoken, and you might view a lot of your history as dysfunctional, unconscious behavior that caused you and others pain. Almost every unconscious person inflicts pain on himself and others without realizing it. They cause unhappiness and make others unhappy. That is what unconscious people do, some to a greater extent than others. As a result, guilt may arise as you awaken, and our mind keeps driving this guilt, making us lose belief in ourselves. So, how can the mind, which has great power, be defeated? The answer is acceptance. Accepting your true self is the only way to shatter the mind's resistance and snap out of your past. However, if remaining in the present moment was simple, most of us would do it all the time. Redirecting your attention to the present requires continual work. Two methods may be useful: inquiring as to what your next thought will be, and observing, but not judging. Your thoughts are your thoughts and desires. Physics inspires the first method. Quantum particles are continually in motion. We can tell where or when they are, but never both simultaneously. The only way to keep such a complex system running is to monitor it. Only then will its features stay constant. This is referred to as the quantum Zeno effect. When it comes to mindfulness, asking oneself about future actions can postpone your next thought. It can also allow you to figure out how much time you spend on autopilot. You're interrupting your thoughts to get away from them. You'll also choose each idea more carefully. The second method is more traditional, the Zen. It is a matter of listening and accepting without acting. Keep an eye out for nagging ideas like "I should have done it sooner," but don't let them take over your thinking. As they pass by, make a wave. Refrain from your mind's regretful and worried inclination by noticing, seeing, and accepting the truth. Separating your physical, observant body from your restless mind reduces the friction between the present, past, and future. Hence, the agony you feel over things can be altered. Quantum Zeno effect in the future. The quantum Zeno effect arises from the classical Zeno paradox proposed by the Zeno of Elea. Well, let me see if I can't really show you too well. It say capital E, lowercase Lea, Alea. Let's assume that Alea. Let's assume that there is an arrow of motion. It will take a few seconds to reach its destination. However, if we observe this arrow at an instant in time, it would seem like it is not moving. It is motionless. So, if we split up those few seconds into multiple instances in time, then observing the arrow at all these instances will make it motionless. Hence, you can freeze an object by monitoring it again and again. Let's try to understand this with a simpler example. Imagine that you are trying to watch a video on YouTube. You try to open it up and the video starts loading. You observe that your internet is slow and the video takes longer than expected. A thought comes into your mind. Let's close your eyes and check the video periodically. This might work as time travel and speed up the video. However, according to the Zeno paradox, this idea of your time travel will freeze time Whenever you open your eyes to observe the video, the loading will stop for that instant, and the more observations you make, the more motionless it becomes. Nothing appeared to change when you looked at the loading symbol, because according to the quantum Zeno effect, nothing or very little changed. You could stop the video's evolution, supposing that the video genuinely obeys quantum rules, by monitoring the video often enough at certain intervals. The Zeno paradox might not apply to the world we see with our naked eye. However, the Zeno effect does occur in the quantum world. Suppose we start observing and measuring a radioactive decaying particle in the quantum world. In that case, it will be observed that the decaying rate of that particle will slow down the more we observe it. So, if we can observe or measure it every instant, there will be no change in the measurements, and the particle will remain frozen. Your brain is a powerful organ, processing multiple thoughts and emotions in a nick of a second. So when you keep stressing and thinking about what you will do next, the brain will keep observing your action every instance and freezing the time. You might have felt this effect when you needed to make some important decision. When you start thinking about what to do or choose, you will observe that the time is slow. The more you think about it, the more emotionless you become. However, the time reverts to the normal flow when you conclude, decide, and let go of the thought. Everything starts to feel in normal motion. So when you keep thinking about the future, your future won't grow or develop. It will remain frozen and won't allow your next thought, freezing your life. So for your future to unfold in its actual potential, you need to stop being stressed and think about your future actions. Allow yourself to be on autopilot most of the time, and you will do just fine. Visualization. Now that you know better how our beliefs can affect our journey against addiction, let's talk about how to strengthen your belief in success. One of the most beneficial techniques that you can try is visualization. Visualization is a mental practice that uses imagination to help us achieve our goals in life. Visualization can help us attain success and wealth and improves our lives when applied correctly. Our minds are powerful, and visualization uses our minds to achieve our desire. Interestingly, people visualize every day but are unaware of it. Visualization is a similar process to daydreaming. For example, suppose someone has a strong desire to possess a magnificent home and visualizes it often. Thus, he will attract the house into his life. Although it may seem magical, visualization is only a natural process fueled by the power of thinking. Visualization works so that the subconscious mind interprets one dominant ideas as instructions, which results in persistent and continuous attempts to emulate them through physical activity. The dominant concept is powerfully supported by burning desire, which leads one to devote all efforts to its fulfillment. People achieve success through using the power of imagery, whether consciously or unconsciously, and so the vision of the intended goal is critical to achieving it. What is the function of visualization and why does it work? Visualization Visualization focuses attention and strength on a single dominant notion. A thought has magnetic energy, which attracts other similar energies. Every event in our lives begins with a simple notion. We can observe this concept in action when, for example, someone consciously thinks about a friend and then meets that friend or receives a call or email from them. By having an imagination and consistently keeping it in our minds, we physically attract and generate that idea via visualization. You will invite disease if you continuously assume you are sick. If you believe you are happy, you will undoubtedly attract happiness as a result. The deliberate vision of what we desire in life assists us in manifesting it. This is the capability of visualization. It isn't easy to imagine a beach if you never visited it. You won't get that whole sensory experience even viewing beach images online. The fragrance of the sea and the taste of salt, the warm sun on your toes, and the cold, frothy white water swirling around your ankles. That imagination needs prior experience. Similarly, becoming something that we cannot envision is difficult. As a result, we must practice envisioning. This is how visualization comes into play. Quantum side of visualization. The science of visualization extends beyond classical physics, which deals with things and forces we see and touch daily. Newton's three principles of motion are well known to us, and their portrayal in our environment makes perfect sense to us. However, there is a more fundamental representation in quantum reality, which we cannot see or comprehend with our five senses. Quantum physics is concerned with another reality that permeates everything but is buried out of our sight. This means that the cosmos around us is alive with endless options until we select and choose one of them. Only when we, as observers, make that choice does the cosmos reflect the choice as our reality among the innumerable other possibilities. Sometimes in history, scientists found that all subatomic particles have both the properties of waves and particles. The path to this revelation is very interesting. Thomas Young experimented with investigating the behavior of light. The double slit experiment expected that light would behave like a wave. When the experiment was set up to detect light and produced an interference pattern representing a wave property, the major shock came when the experiment was slightly changed. It was assumed that light is formed of particles, and detectors were fitted to observe the direction the photons of light particles took. What type of trend will we see now? We see two small spots of light. Wow. We identify particles because we thought of light as particles, and particles cannot interfere with each other like waves. When we experiment, assuming that light is a particle, light acts as if it were formed of particles. However, experimenting with the assumption that light is a wave will result in light behaving as if it were a wave. The experiment clearly shows that what we see is what our universe contains. The cosmos only gives us the side of itself that we choose to see. Our world is only a mirror of our inner ideas, beliefs, and attitudes. We genuinely feel what we picture when we practice visualization meditation. According to quantum physics, our reality is defined by what we experience. As a result, what we imagine becomes a reality in our world. Visualization and addiction. The question of how to use visualization to stand a chance against addiction. You can do this by visualizing yourself as the winner. You had to practice seeing yourselves at the finish line. Practice seeing yourselves winning the trophy. Imagine yourself living away from the depths of addiction in a healthy and peaceful environment. Whenever you are faced with a self-limiting belief or label, visualize the opposite. Imagine the positive side and keep feeling the woman inside you. People who get sober will have to rebuild their lives. It may seem frightening at first, but there are some distinct benefits to being able to restart. Once you have established a solid foundation in recovery, you will be ready to begin constructing the sort of life you want. Positive visualization can be beneficial in helping you to progress on the right path. Visualization will not only keep you motivated, but will also help you to build a deeper understanding of what you want to accomplish. If you believe in these mental representations, you are already halfway to your ultimate objective. Mental contrasting. From what you have read, you might think that visualization only involves thinking about the positive outcomes. However, this is not the case. You will achieve the best results when you visualize the positive and negative aspects at the same time. This concept might feel a bit confusing now, but keep reading about the mental contrasting and you will know precisely what visualizing the negative aspects means. Mental contrasting is the act of imagining your intended objective as well as the potential internal impediments that may prevent you from accomplishing your goals. Mental contrasting is a technique for recognizing the distance between where you are now and where you wish to go. It also helps you to feel the discomfort or tension that comes with that gap. Mental contrasting is a much more realistic mode of thought. It is more than just optimistic thinking. It is also not limited to negative thoughts. Mental contrasting is a practical approach to considering where you concern your objectives. Alright, that's page 24. We're going to continue on that quarter. We're going to continue on that quarter when we continue on that quarter. On that Deuce Pal. On that 2-5. On that page a quarter. On that page 25. Alright, love y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your moments. Love y'all.